Okay. So can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. And this is our first session, was our first POMS session this year. I'm very happy to introduce you these three great friends and great professionals that are going to show you some of the programs that are actually working on their university. So hopefully this is going to be very useful for all. Well, welcome Carlos Gonzalez, Carlos Paternina, Felipe. Thank you for your time. So I'm just gonna pass the torch to Carlos Gonzalez. He's gonna be the host today, and he's gonna introduce himself and start with the session. So thank you, Carlos. Thank you, everybody. And Carlos, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Agatha. Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. It's a pleasure to be here with you and with my friend Felipe, my colleague, and also Carlos Paternina, my colleague, that we are going to present you the different graduate programs at our universities. So we are going to spend like 15 minutes, each one of us, explaining all the different programs. And at the end, you can ask questions if you have any specific question for the different universities that we're going to present right now. I will start with the presentation, and after that, we will move with Felipe in Ohio University and Carlos Paternina with San Diego State University. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
It's loading.
It's starting to show up.
Yep.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, thank you. So, as I mentioned, I am Carlos Gonzalez-Calderon. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering at University of North Carolina in Charlotte. And I have been involved in POMS since after my graduate studies in RPI. And I was before the vice president of the Production Operation Management Society for the Latin American and Caribbean chapter. Now, at this moment, I am the treasurer. And I will show you the agenda that I'm going to explain today. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is, should you pursue a master's or a doctoral degree? I'm going to talk about a little bit about the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. And I'm going to show you the graduate programs that we have here at UNC Charlotte, that the MBA, Engineering Management MS, Management MS, and Data Science and Business Analytics Master, Data Science PhD, Business Administration PhD, and Civil Engineering for both Masters and PhD programs. Okay, so the first question that maybe you can have is, should I pursue a master or doctoral degree? So in general terms, a master's is best if you want like professional advancement in 1 or 2 years, the typical thing. So if you're looking for specialized skills for industry roles, I mean, analytics, management, engineering practice. And also it's a flexible path, so you can have a thesis or no thesis options, depending on the program. So it would be like a Master of Science is with a thesis, and with a no thesis, like a Master of Engineering, Master of Business Administration, and so on. And the PhD option, the Doctor of Philosophy, is best if you want like a research intensive training and publications. So if you want to have like an academic career, advanced research and development, or leadership in innovation. For the PhD, there are more funding opportunities like assistantships. They could be like teaching assistantships or research assistantships, and deeper specialization in the topic that you like. So as a quick decision guide, I choose a master's if your goal is in the near-term career growth, or it's just a pivot into a new specialty. And choose a PhD, maybe most of the times after the master's, if you want to create a new knowledge and lead research agendas. All right, now this applies in general for all universities, but now I'm going to focus on my university right now, that's the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. So it's located here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a great city. And the university is the main university in Charlotte that is the main city in the state of North Carolina. It's not the capital, Israeli, but it's like the main city. And UNC Charlotte is a public R1 research university in Charlotte, North Carolina. As I mentioned, it's like a focus with doctoral degrees and specialized in research. It has strong connections to industry and the Charlotte metro area. So in the part of finance, logistics, energy, healthcare, manufacturing is very connected. Like we are an urban university in the middle of the city. We have like about 1 million inhabitants. So there's a lot of industry over here. So for internships, for both the masters or the PhD, there's a lot of options here. We have a broad graduate ecosystem across businesses, data science, analytics, and engineering. And as I mentioned, there are opportunities for interdisciplinary research and applied industry-relevant projects. Also, we have a lot of international student support and a vibrant community in our campus. Okay, so what programs do we offer over here at UNC Charlotte for masters and PhDs? So this is the list that we have, as I mentioned before, and I'm going to explain a little bit each one of those. So the first one is the MBA, the Master of Business Administration. So the focus is comprehensive business management. It builds for leadership, strategy, finance, marketing, and operations. And it's a strong fit if you want to accelerate your career or pivot industries. So these are some examples that we have here and the top companies, like in the finances one that I mentioned, like the banking, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, this financial TIAA, and Duke Energy. So these are the skills that are developed through the MBA, and these are the top occupations that people from here can go there. So there is like an online or on-campus option because it's a postgraduate study that you can pursue after finishing your bachelor's. The second one is the engineering management, a Master of Science. So it focuses on the leadership and project operations management in technology-driven contexts. So it builds in project management, system thinking, quality decision-making, and coordination between engineering and businesses. So it's one of the top 100 in the nation, this Master of Science, and it is looking for, like the degree, is looking for integration of engineering and management, where modeling and analysis play a role over there. So the part of the operational aspects are emphasized. So it's also delivered on campus or online and admits on the spring and fall semester. There is another one that is management, not engineering management, just management, and it focuses on management and decision-making in organizations. Okay, so this is like the same as MBA. Top companies, for example, Bank of America, Spectrum, Atrium Health, or Deloitte. So we have management analysts, human resources specialists, even operation managers, and so on, with the top skills that are obtained in the pursuit of this Master of Science. So it's very useful for operation and administrative roles. So it's only delivered in person, but it's in the evening. It's for if you live in Chile in the evening, you can work and be here. However, it starts only like in July. It's like a 2 years a part-time job, but it's for people that are working in the industry. Now, this is another focus of the graduate programs, the data science and business analytics for business decision making. So it's for data modeling, visualization, predictive analysis, and stakeholder communication. And this master is for fall and spring terms. So it's in campus, in person. Okay, and it could have like a graduate program or a graduate certificate or a master program. But you can continue to the data science PhD that is focused on research in data science and machine learning. So AI, machine learning, it also depends on the track that you're looking for, statistics and modeling, data engineering, and the applications in health, energy, mobility, finance, etc. So the data science PhD program is like tackling research with societal impact. So this is ideal if you want to develop like deep research with interdisciplinary impact. There's another doctoral degree in business administration, PhD, because there are also doctoral in business administration, but this one that I'm explaining you is PhD, is a focus on research in management and business disciplines by different areas. So it usually includes like the methods training, like quantitative and qualitative or mixed methods, a lot of research seminars and agenda development and publication is recommended if you are pursuing an academic career or a high impact applied research. It's only delivered on campus, and the duration is for a PhD like 4 to 8 years. Now, in the field that I'm in transportation and civil engineering. So civil engineering, most of you maybe will ask, has to do with production operation management, but the answer is yes. We have different areas: transportation, construction, structure, geotechnical, and water, but the main one is transportation and construction. So it's a good fit if you want to work or research with urban systems and physical supply chains. So the masters that we have is delivered on campus and it starts on the fall and the spring. And it's very good receiving like people from international origins or international countries, not the US. And the PhD in civil engineering will focus in the supply chain management, transportation, and the other field that we have to, but we want to have like an original research and scholarly contribution. It includes advanced publication output and is recommended for those like who wants to have a career or infrastructure and research and development. So what are the next steps? I just mentioned the program that we have here, the graduate programs here at UNC Charlotte. So the first step that I will mention is define your goals. What do you want, or what do you think that you want? So it will be industry or research, and review the curriculum that you're looking for, because sometimes you start with industry, maybe you can switch to academia, or the other way around. It depends on each one situation. So you need to check the requisites, the language requirements. For UNC Charlotte, the TOEFL is 83 at this moment, and the Duolingo is 115. But you have to check each one of the graduate programs. So because it's taught in English, so you have to check all that. It's important to have the curriculum vitae, the statements of purpose, the transcripts translated to English, some references. You need to ask like 2 or 3 professionals that you have worked on to provide you references, and maybe a portfolio for some of the programs, maybe the MBA or management masters. You need to explore assistantships, scholarships, employee support. If you're working, maybe they can support you to have like your master or MBA online, could be an option, and also graduate school resources. So what are the tips for you, for POMS members, for the Latin American researchers, or the people that want to pursue a graduate degree? So if your interest is operations, supply chain, analytics, I will start with a master in data analytics or business analytics, engineering management, or MBA, just to apply that, like to work on that. But if you want to have like a little interest on this, you can start with this and continue with the PhD options like business, data science, and transportation. And how to do this? I would recommend reach out to faculty like professors with the thematic alignment and ask about projects, labs, assistantships opportunities. Bring like or send 1 page of your profile, your research interest, your experience, what are the tools that you knows, like for example, Python, R, and a sample project that you want to conduct research or help in a project, or if this faculty can help you or not. So sometimes the professor won't reply, that's a reality, but sometimes they can reply and maybe you can find a good opportunity about this. All right, I have some suggested links for the graduate school. You can go there. This presentation is shared in the folder, so you can access all these links for the graduate school, for the different graduate programs. For the College of Business, that a lot of information is there, like the College of Computing and Informatics, and the College of Engineering. So you have all the links there. You can go to the webpage and look for more information if you are looking for more of that. Okay, I will stop there and we will continue with Felipe Aros with Ohio University. The question will be at the end. He will present the Master of Science in Industrial and System Engineering and the PhD in Mechanical and System Engineering with the Industrial Engineering concentration. So Dr. Aros-Vera is an Associate Professor of Industrial and System Engineering and Director of the Center for Advanced System and Transportation Logistics Engineering, the CASL, at Ohio University. Dr. Aros-Vera holds a PhD in Transportation Engineering from RPI and degrees from Politécnica Universidad Católica de Chile. His research spans human trafficking, humanitarian logistics, and transportation engineering, applying network modeling, optimization, econometrics, and AI-based algorithms to address resilience and critical infrastructure challenges. He collaborates with institutions including IBM, Traffic Analysis Hub, Rig State, and the Northeast Ohio Human Trafficking Task Force. His work includes field research after disasters and collaboration with law enforcement operations. So Felipe, we are all yours.
Thank you very much, Carlos. Can you guys see my slides?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for the introduction. In Chile, it's the Pontificia Universidad Católica de Chile. That's the only deal, my friend.
Sorry about that.
No worries, no worries. Okay, as Carlos mentioned, I'm an associate professor of industrial engineering. And in this brief presentation, which you also have available in the same folder that I believe Agatha is going to share with all of you, I'm going to walk you through primarily the programs that we have in our department, right? But before jumping into the programs, I wanted to just make a quick stop. We're going from Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 million people, to the metropolis of Athens, Ohio, with the overwhelming number of 25,000 people. Okay, so this is a small college town, right? So Ohio University is the primary center for employment, and it is a vibrant community with a lot of opportunities and people from all over the world, right? So the city is 25,000 people. Those are the locals, right? But we have between 20 and 22,000 students in our Athens campus. If you count all the satellite campus along, in the state of Ohio, I believe we reach more than 50,000 students. So these are some of the pictures of our campus. Is a land-grant public institution, the original one, founded in 1804. So one of the oldest in the country, in fact, in Athens, Ohio. So the Ross College of Engineering, I'm going to focus on the Ross College because this is where I'm working, and also this is the programs that I'm going to focus on. So it's named after Fritz and Dolores Ross, and they're benefactors of Ohio University, and specifically the Ross, the College of Engineering. They in 2008 they donated $124 million. At the time, was the largest donation to a single unit within a university, and we still have the largest endowment in the state of Ohio. The Ross College of Engineering has, I believe, 6 different departments, and there are 7 centers from the Corrosion Center. I am the director of the Center for CASL, so the Center for Advanced Systems Transportation Logistics Engineering. So we do projects in transportation engineering and logistics with a wide range of collaborations. Carlos mentioned some of them, right? So my current research focus, myself, is on human trafficking, fighting human trafficking, I should say. So I've been working on fighting human trafficking, transportation engineering, humanitarian logistics, and I've done some work in North Carolina with NASCAR and the logistics. So I'm going to talk briefly about the application requirements. I'm going to make a couple comments about the application process. I think it might be helpful for some of you guys because I'm sharing these slides with the audience. Feel free to go back to the links. Application requirements, pretty much typical for any grad school in the United States. You're going to have to show English proficiency, TOEFL, the IELTS. I believe we also accept, there's a couple others that I'm blinking now, but we also accept other types of English proficiency proof. Letters of recommendation, I'm going to go back to that one. And then obviously you need the transcripts translated to English, the undergraduate degree from the original institution, and also the application fee. We do not waive it. We get I get many requests to waive the application fee. Unfortunately, that is a policy of our department. I want to go back to the letters of recommendation because coming into the United States, and essentially, and also coming into an institution, and there is a wide variety of different institutions. And in our department in particular, and this is kind of my policy, we rely heavily on letters of recommendation, how much the person who is recommending the letter is able to say about you, right? Because your statement is important in terms of what you want to do, what your plan for the future is. It's very important. That's one of the missing pieces here, right? So your letter of the statement. But as important as that, or even more important in some situations, it's what your professors or potentially your colleagues can say about your application. So just so you know, that is a policy in our department, and I think it probably is the case in multiple institutions in the United States. Some of the degree requirements is the PhD in Mechanical and Systems Engineering. However, the name is only because of when the PhD program was created, it was a combined PhD between the mechanical and the industrial and systems engineering departments, right? So they got together, they created the PhD program, but they had essentially two different concentrations, the mechanical engineering concentration and the industrial and systems concentration for the students who are in our department. In the old days, the qualifying exam had a component of physics that a lot of our students didn't really like because we're not focused on physics and stuff like that. That's no longer the case. The qualifying exam is essentially focused on industrial and systems engineering courses. You have the required, so the qualifying exam is 3 different exams in a 2-day span in which you need to take probability and statistics, and then you pick 2 others out of a set of 5 or 6 in which we have Six Sigma, lean, manufacturing, simulation, operations, research, and I'm blinking, there's a couple more, but essentially you meet with your advisor and then you decide what are those other 2 exams that you're going to take in your qualifying exam. Okay, so a typical PhD program is a 2-year coursework. I don't have the exact numbers top of my head in terms of the number of credits that you need to take, but you need to essentially have a diverse set of courses, right? The basics in terms of operations research, statistics, and things like that go into at the beginning of your coursework, and then later on you need to take more advanced courses such as linear programming, non-linear programming, advanced courses in computer programming as well. Most of our students code in Python, so that's helpful if you already know. And then you also need 3 courses that are outside our department. So we have a lot of students who will be taking courses in computer science, for example. And I think that's very helpful because of AI and all the new technologies that are coming up. A lot of our students go to civil engineering as well to take courses in transportation and other urban planning and things like that. And some of them also go to the College of Business or mathematics and physics. So we have, to some extent, when you are working on your coursework for your PhD, there is enough flexibility that you can design your program so that if it's 2 main purposes, right? One is your dissertation work, right? So you need to take those courses that are going to be helpful for your dissertation. And then in addition to that, you want to take courses that help you in your career. So as Carlos mentioned before, if you want to go into academia, well, you want to take some of these courses that are more research intensive. And then if you want to go into into industry, then you may want to profile yourself with courses in the College of Business or potentially also in computer science. And then typically you have 2 years of dissertation work. And I should say that along these 4 years, I'm going to explain this in the funding. I have a couple of slides for funding later on. You will be working on different projects with your advisor. We have both TAs and RA positions, but the 2-year dissertation is kind of accounts for three main components. The first one is the comprehensive exam, in which you need to you are evaluated in your ability to conduct independent research, right? So this is normally one question, and you have a month to work on it. And obviously, it's a research intensive, loaded questions in which you essentially need to write a paper. You need to submit your paper to your dissertation committee, and then you need to present that your answer as well. You need to defend it in a small presentation, right? So that is the comprehensive exam. After the comprehensive exam, you can call yourself a PhD candidate. And also you now are in good shape to begin working on your proposal, your PhD proposal. And obviously, after your PhD proposal, your dissertation committee will evaluate that, and you end up with your PhD dissertation defense. So this is what I already mentioned. You need to select your advisor. Depending on, in some situations, you're already coming with a specific working with a specific person because of, for example, funding, right? So if you are coming to work with one of our professors in a specific project, then you're gonna be working on that particular project, so that you're already selected your advisor. And then you have the DQE, the Department Qualifying Exam. That's the one that I mentioned. It's normally by the end of the second semester. And then comprehensive exam, dissertation proposal, and dissertation defense. So that's the typical duration of a PhD student in our department. We do have entry to our PhD program directly from undergrad. That is longer than when you enter after you already have a master's, right? So we like to put it, one is 4 years, the other one is 5 years. Because you have more course load, and you also need to, well, you need to meet the same requirements, but you're going to have an extended period of time in coursework and also in research. So just briefly, in terms of the Master of Science in Industrial and Systems Engineering, here's the link. So if you guys can go back and take a look at the requirements, right? So we have the thesis option is the one that is funded. We also have a non-thesis option, but that is not directly funded from projects or the department, right? That needs to be either you fund yourself or other types of funding for that requirement. And then just briefly, 30 credit hours for this program, thesis, seminar, research writing. Those two also are required for the PhD in mechanical and systems engineering. And then you're going to have different levels of courses, 6,000, 5,000, and 4,000 required courses, right? 4,000 is normally by the end of the 4 year for undergraduate students. They're taking 4,000 level. And then 5,000 and 6,000 are master's and PhD levels courses. So just a couple words about funding. We do have funding from our department, and we are the only department that funds master's students as well. So that sometimes is attractive for some of the, I should say, industry. There's no industry. For some of the people that are coming to our department. So you can either be funded by the department, in which case you're going to be assigned to a specific professor to normally assist in a class, right? So you're either going to be grading, or you're going to be working with senior capstone design, or there's a bunch of different ways in which we need help with our department. By the way, our PhD students also, most of them teach at least one semester. That's especially helpful for those who want to go into the academic career, because when you're applying for a for an academic position, for a professorship, for a professor position, you need to submit your class evaluations, right? So if you teach for a semester, then you already have a class evaluation. So I wanted to mention that. And then you can also be funded from specific projects, right? So we have the National Science Foundation, the Department of Justice, National Cooperative Highway Research Program. I had an airport cooperative research program, and also in some cases from industry. We've had very large projects with General Electric and a couple other companies that are funded some of our students, right? There is a close collaboration between industry and our department, senior capstone design. There is a couple of industry partners in Chillicothe and also in Columbus that we collaborate, and our students normally do very, very well with them. I think that's it. I think I covered most of the things in our program. If you have any questions, that is my email. Feel free to reach out to me. If you're interested in the programs and in the specific projects that we're working on, same thing. Feel free to reach out to me. I normally talk to students over Microsoft Teams, and then we decide, what's the best course of action. Carlos, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Felipe. It was a very interesting presentation. So now our next speaker is Professor Carlos Paternina Arboleda. He's an associate professor in the Department of Management Information Systems at San Diego State University. He specializes in AI-driven supply chain analytics, logistics, and sustainability. He earned his PhD in industrial engineering from the University of South Florida, and previously he was working at Universidad del Norte in Colombia. Carlos, we are all yours. Right.
Thank you, Carlos, and thanks, Felipe. You made it a lot easier for me to start with because you have already explained a lot of things. So I'm going to try to be. I'm going to start first. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to start first by talking about the university. Are you seeing my screen now? Yes, you are, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to start to talk about what we are or who we are. I currently work for San Diego State University. I came 5 years ago after working for over 20 plus years at Universidad del Norte in Colombia. San Diego State University is, as the name states it, we're located in San Diego, California, 30 minutes away from the border with Mexico, and more specifically, either way with Tijuana. Tijuana is the first city, first Mexican city crossing the border in the West Coast. So that's our location. San Diego has about a 1.8 million people metropolitan population size-wise. It's not the largest, of course, in Southern California. The largest in the state would be Los Angeles and the metropolitan area. But it is a highly biotechnology hub, highly attractive biotechnology hub, as well as, you may not know this, but this is where the main military bases are located in the West Coast. It's the most far south point in the West Coast, the continental U.S. So rather, other than Hawaii and the islands in the Pacific, then this would be the main base, main military base. So shipyards, aeronautics, and things like that are highly coveted here in the area of San Diego. Our institution gives programs in engineering. I am in the College of Business, so I'm going to talk about the College of Business more. But we do have a large collaboration with science and engineering. San Diego State is part of a 23 campus university system, which is called the California State University System. For those of you who are not familiar with it, this would be similar to what you have in North Carolina. Like you have the NC State system and you have the UNC system. Here we have the UC system, University of California. That's the more research-oriented system. And there are 8 campuses for the UC system. And there are 23 CSU campuses. The only R1 university in the CSU system is San Diego State. where I'm working right now. We are a Hispanic serving institution as well as an Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander serving institution. These days, uh, there's a lot of things going on with that type of things in the U.S., but we're in California, so we're still naming this. I'm gonna switch from talking about the university and the city to our programs at the Department of Management Information Systems here at the College of Business at SDSU. So give me a second. I started with the last slide. So our graduate programs at the Management Information System Department, and I'm going to go from the management to the university because we collaborate a lot, especially at the PhD level. We do have a university which is received for the first time the R1 designation in 2025. So this was a milestone for SDSU. We used to be an R2 university, which is also a doctoral university, but it was not ranked at the highest level before. So we are now ranked at the Research 1 designation level. We're also a diversity champion campus, and you will see it if you are here. You're going to see a lot of very different diverse population. It is one of the most affordable systems in the country. Education in the U.S. has become somehow expensive. As opposed as 25 years when I graduated from South Florida, the growth of the cost of studying in the U.S. has increased a lot. This is one of those universities which still remains affordable. The system is devoted to more for coverage. Therefore, that's why we have the 23 campuses in a state of roughly 40 million people. It has a near perfect climate. So right now, while the East Coast is having like snowstorms, we're having an 80 Fahrenheit degree day here. So it's beautiful. You can go to surf all the time. That's why Californians love to surf. You can go to the beach. You can go to, do sports and outdoor activities. Hiking is one of the best here in the area. So our winters is like, we're going to have like very mild winters as opposed to what we get in the rest of the U.S. Our master's programs, we do have. I'm not sure, Felipe. What's what's the temperature today in Ohio?
Well, we're in like summer in 60
Oh,
today.
okay. All right. So our programs, and I'm going to start with the master's programs. We do offer assistantship for our master's programs. That's mainly because the College of Business, in particular, is only going to open its own doctoral program in 2028. The doctoral program that I work with and that we work with at the College of Business is the PhD in computational science. I'm going to talk about that later, but I'm going to start with the master's programs. And the three that we offer in our department are cybersecurity management, information systems per se, and supply chain innovation. Supply chain innovation opened for the first time last year. We're restructuring some things. It used to be, we wanted to launch it more as an analytical slash technological program. And I think that we didn't market it the way we wanted to. So we're refurbishing a little bit for relaunching on 2027. But I'm going to talk about that because our cycle for 2026 is closed. So we are already waiting for applications for 2027. This is a 36,000 student university. Our college in particular has over 10,000 students. The College of Business is the largest college in the university. Our department has about 1,000 of them. So, and it's not the largest. Management would be the largest, of course. We do offer a cybersecurity management master's program, an information systems master program, and a supply chain program. The cybersecurity management is a STEM, all of them are STEM designated, by the way. And this is a huge difference to other programs that I am going to talk about from the College of Business. I'm not going to talk about, but we do have finance, accounting, and all of those programs, which are non-STEM designated. Those are not in our department. Our department is the only STEM designated department, which means you as an international student can have an option to train after you graduate. That means you have an option to apply for an OPT, which extends to 3 years, as opposed to 1 year in the remaining programs that are not STEM designated. So the core topics for this program are electronic business and big data, cloud computing, information security, system security and risk management, AI, machine learning for cyber intelligence and defense. And yes, we do have a DHS funded program at the university and at the school. We have DHS, the Department of Homeland Security clinics here at our campus, and we have the Cybersecurity Excellence Center for Research, also as a university-wide structure, and like half of the faculty that support that center are in our department. The second program is the Master of Science in Information Systems, and there you're going to be more related to enterprise data management, project planning and management, business analytics, business systems analysis and design. And yes, you can have tracks within it because this is our core program. You can have a track in AI and business analytics, or a track in cybersecurity, or a track in supply chain innovation. So if you don't want to specialize in cybersecurity, like you want to be more generalistic in the sense of managing information systems, then this would be the program that we would recommend. This is where we have most of our students. And the good thing about that is that we're not seeing a decline in the population coming to study our master's program, or coming to or working or in positions in industry, as we are seeing in other IT or information technology different programs. There's a decline in the market for data, not for data, but for information technology professionals, and that's not happening in the management information systems area because of the management component, most likely. The next one would be the supply chain analytics program, innovation program, and we are more focused on resilience, analytics, and all of the technology related programs that we work with, which means part of the information systems background and core that we relate to actually reinforces this program. It's not a supply chain management program. So we're not focusing on management theory. We're focusing on managing information systems related to supply chain. So there's a lot of there are math courses, there are analytics courses, there are business informatics courses. We do use Python as our main component. You can use R if you want for analytics, but Python is a more generic system to work with, especially when you're developing information systems. So that's our main goal. You're going to learn how to do database management, how to do AI, how to do AI specifically on the program. That's my area of research. You're gonna be doing more risk analysis based on resiliency. So many of the things that in Latin America we do in engineering, we are doing it here in information systems. Now, those are master's program. We do have assistantship for those, as I told you. But those are competitive, right? So we can only hire an international students for as much as 20 hours, as many as 20 hours per week work, which is half time. And that could be either doing research with a professor, or you could be working as Professor Aros-Vera said before, as a teaching assistant, grading, and helping the professor with the grading and with the preparation of classes sometimes. You can also work for externally funded projects, and in my department, which is the only STEM department in our college, is where we have more grants, external grants. Grants come from National Science Foundation, from cybersecurity, from the Department of Homeland Security, from the Department of Energy, from the Department of Transportation. In my case, specifically with the Port Infrastructure Development Program, we have gathered some really good funding for students, project for research. Typically, as we are more a business school or a business college, we do tend to work more with industry than purely with funding agencies. So we do have a tendency to go for the state of California GOBIS type of grants, or for the specific Department of Transportation grants, or some more specific in if we're, let's say, we're dealing with humanitarian logistics, we have a cross-border issue here. So we go to education, Department of Education, we go to the Department of Health to get funding for those kind of problems together. This program is actually hosted, this is a university-wide program, and it is a joint program with University of California at Irvine. So it is actually very interesting because you have to study at least 1 year, depending on where your base university is. So if you are at San Diego State University, if you're a main student at SDSU, you're going to have to take 3 years here and 1 year at UCI. Every student that we admit to the program is funded. It's funded fully. When I say fully, is you're going to be from our end at the College of Business, and this is not just hosted at the College of Business, because you can also work with engineering or science or any other department that is related to the program. But the department where you're hosted actually sponsors you. In our case, this is a College of Business again. We are highly interested in your capacity to communicate. So teaching is not something that is by chance here. You're going to have to teach. We're going to give you low academic load, and you're not going to be a graduate assistant at the moment that you teach. You're going to be a lecturer in this case. So English is something that you should manage very well. Communication skills is something that you should manage very well in order for us to be able to give you that appointment. When you come in, we have to actually interview you, same as my colleagues before said before me. We have to interview you. You have to bring your recommendation letters. We don't at the moment request for GRE or GMAT, but it is suggested that you take it. Typically, students that come to the PhD program already have a master's degree. If you don't have a master's degree, we'll look into whether you have publications before you are applying. So if you are a highly active undergraduate student and you have been participating in research with faculty before at your universities in Latin America, and you are willing to engage directly as a PhD student, you can apply. But bear in mind that you're going to be competing with students that are, many of them have already graduated from universities already around the world as a master's student. So that's typically my suggestion. I brought a student from Colombia. He's starting the PhD in the fall of 2026. He had 3 publications before he came, one of them with me. And when he applied to the PhD, because it's a joint PhD, he has to be admitted by both universities. So UC Irvine and SDSU together, what we mentioned is you're going to start at the master's program and then you're going to move up to the PhD after a year. And that's what he's doing. So he was able to write a couple more papers in this year that he was here working with us. And now he's moving into the PhD program, fully funded. He's going to be a lecturer for one large section of a supply chain class, an undergraduate supply chain class. So we trained him to do that too. So during that first year that we had him here, we trained him to be a more efficient communicator so that he can teach the course better. And get that experience before being introduced to our students. This is a typical cost for international students. Is going to be a full-time registering for 9 units. That's per semester. This $13,000 is roughly $27,000. If you are financed at the PhD level, the tuition it goes down a lot because we are only going to make you pay the basic tuition for California, which we cannot waive because that would mean that we are putting you ahead of the local students. So we cannot waive that portion of the registration fees, but we can waive the international student fee, and we can waive the out-of-state student fee as well. As for the application, it depends on the program, but our window for application for 2026 is closed except for the MBA program. So the MBA goes until April 1st, and you can always start at the MBA and then transfer to any one of our programs. We are doing that every single year because many students didn't realize that our cycle ended in February 1st. So if you are willing to come in 2027, this is typically when our cycle ends. It opens in October, it ends in February. But now, if you are willing to apply, you're going to have to apply to the MBA program and then ask for transfer directly to any one of the programs. You have to specify what program you want as your first option, but you can apply to the MBA and then transfer to any one of the 3 programs above. The computational science PhD program is not on that option. You're going to have to wait until next cycle if that's your interest. Okay. If you do not have a bachelor's degree from a US institution or a British institution, Australian, sometimes from India, we waive that because their main language is English. You must submit one of the following: TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, or PTE. I don't remember what PTE means. Sorry for that, but any of these options are available. Your test scores must be within 2 years of the application date, not of the date of start of the program, but of the date you apply. English proficiency waivers are checked by the graduate admissions department upon receipt of your transcripts. You can go here to the applications for international students directly. Okay. GMAT and GRE are not required for admission into further graduate programs. This might change in the future, especially on our STEM programs in our department. Not for the MBA though. The MBA is not going to have the GR or GMAT. We're using these, it's not easy to put everybody on the same basket because the grading systems in Chile are different to grading systems in Bolivia or in Paraguay or in Colombia or in Mexico or in India. The majority of our international student population come from India at the moment. It used to be China at one time, but that's no longer happening. So India is our main provider of international students, and we are highly interested in Latin American students at this moment. We go for anything between 36 to 42 units, which is the same as credits in our systems in Latin America. We can waive some of the bachelor's degree in business-related field or undergraduate equivalent coursework. We can waive up to 10 units. So it means that if you can transfer from your university to ours and you have taken some graduate work before, then we can waive as much as 10 units. The time to complete our master's is 1.5 to 2.5 years. The time to complete our program, our PhD program, is 4 to 5 years. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to talk that much about the MBA. Our MBA is typical as any other MBA that we have. We have an executive MBA and we have a typical or regular MBA. We have a part-time MBA as well. Actually, that's the one that is highly ranked for our university. It's mainly taken by people that is already working. So they come here part-time and then do the MBA program. That's something interesting too. The MBA, however, offers one STEM designated track or specialization, and that's the one in information system. So that's also with our department. That's why I'm talking about this option. It actually gives you that 3-year OPT version that I was talking to you about. So I'm not done, although this is my last slide. Sorry. Let me just go back to what I was before. If you are willing to take a look at our webpage, there's a whole section called financial aid. Just type SDSU San Diego financial aid, and it will bring you directly to this application. The application depends on whether you are a US-based student or not, but typically there are many things that you can get up from here. So from grants to scholarships to teaching assistantships to many different things. Also, there is a joint option with the College of Engineering. It is a Master of Engineering. It's hosted in their college, but it is a interdisciplinary degree with our college. So you're going to have both a set of units taken from our business and management emphasis, and you need to work on a thesis, and that thesis has to be directed by a professor at the College of Engineering and a professor at the College of Business. It depends on what you want to do. I wanted to tell you about, again, not required, but recommended at the engineering program, the GRE. And all of the requirements for English proficiency also apply. And if you want to reach out to me, this is my email. You can just type Carlos Paternina and SDSU, and it will link you to my page. Just type it in Google or in Bing or in any browser, actually, and it will take you to my page. You can write me an email, and I will most likely answer within 24 to 48 hours. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was mute. Okay, thank you very much, Carlos, for your presentation, and also Felipe. So as you can see, you have the perspective of 3 universities, 3 different departments like business, industrial and system engineering, and civil and environmental engineering. So you have a lot of options to apply. As Carlos mentioned, we're looking for Latin American students. We have a lot of possibilities. There are options and different universities. So we are advisors for you. So just do not hesitate in contacting us. Send us an email, asking if you have questions. All this presentation will be in the share folder, so you can take a look on that. And we hope that most of you look for any opportunity in the US. Now we're going to open for questions, and just raise your hand, or you can type your question in the chat box, or you can just open your mic and ask the question. Any questions for the audience?
No, they're good here.
Okay.
Rest assured that we're going to share the slides with you, Agatha, so that you can also post them in the page. Okay.
Yes, yes, of course. As I mentioned, I'm gonna share with every participant a folder with all the information that you have shared. And we're gonna upload this video on YouTube. So, and we're gonna share that with our community as well, so they can watch later if they couldn't watch at this time. So, yeah, they're gonna have all the information. Please share your contacts as well within the folder so they can reach out to you. So thank you, everybody. I know, Carlos, if you want to close the session.
Yeah, no, if we don't have any questions, just thank all the speakers, Carlos, Felipe, and also Agatha for organizing this. As Agatha mentioned, this is the first one of the seminars that we will have during the year. We will let you know about other seminars that we're going to have, talking about production operation management for the Latin America and the Caribbean chapter. And thank you all.
Okay. Hey guys, can I share something just very quick with you?
Sure.
Of course.
Yeah. Just this. Remember, the Pan American Congress in Transportation and Logistics is being hosted here by us in San Diego. So it's gonna be from May 26 to 29. It will start in Ensenada, Mexico, and it will end here in San Diego. So hopefully, if you can also give some more information. We also we're going to be joined by the Consortium of Supply Chain and Operations Management from California. That's like the CSU system consortium, and it's going to be about a 250 people conference. So you're welcome if you want to come.
We'll be there.
Great.
I know.
Carlos will be there. Thank you. So thank you, Felipe. Thank you, Carlos Gonzalez and Carlos Paternina. Thank you for your participation here. I think it's going to be very important for us to train our community. And hopefully I'm going to see you in the next event. And of course, you're going to have, as well as our conferences. So we're going to have some news for you guys soon. And thank you. So
You're
see
very
you.
welcome.
And
Have a nice
You're
weekend.
welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
bye.